Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. I hope everybody's doing well out there. My wife and I are just recovering from a bout of COVID. We had dodged a bullet for 2.5 years. When this thing first started in March of 2020, we just started a long extended trip of Europe, which was cut short. So we were there in England and in Portugal, riding buses and trains, and we never got it. And we came home, and then about 1.5 years ago, we flew out west to the Pacific Northwest, to Seattle, etc., and hung out with Mazzy, and we took buses and trains and planes, and we never got it. And then a couple of months ago, we flew to France, where we spent 2 weeks in Marseille and Paris, never caught it, riding all sorts of public transportations. And then we came home to Maine, one of the least populated states in the country, and we got it. So anyway, luckily, because we both had all our vaccinations, all our boosters, we both had a very mild case. She even milder than me. My wife's a lot stronger and tougher than I am, and she got over it in 2 or 3 days. I had like 101 fever. I had about 2 or 3 days where I was really feeling crummy. But it's been 10 days now, and I feel fine, which is great. So all I can say, if you get it, if you have your boosters and you take care of yourself, hopefully it won't be too bad. But this video is about the past year. So I know in the beginning of the year, I said I was going to cut back on buying. And of course, it's now the end of the year, and I look through my Discogs, because I list everything on Discogs, and I bought almost 300 records this year. So I guess I didn't cut back very much. I'm going to try to do better this year. I really want to save up for a new turntable. I really want to upgrade that area of my system. So I'm hoping to cut back on purchases and put some money aside and be able to do that this year. Until that, I want to go through some of the records I bought this past year. These are going to be my 10 favorite of used records that I bought. These are all things that I got either at Goodwill, local record stores, antique malls, whatever, but they weren't new. They were all used records that I picked up. A couple of them were sort of grails that I've been looking for a long time. Some of them, well, you'll see. All right, the first one I got is a record. Again, I've been looking for this on and off for a long time. This is not an original, originally released in 1968. This is a 1985 Rhino repress, but it is the Monkees' Head. I remember seeing an original beat to hell at a antique mall. The guy wanted like $75 for it, which is just insane. But this I kept still in the shrink. I bought this used. Really happy to have it. Great stuff on the Rhino label to look like the original Cold Gems, I guess it was on. Pretty cool. But a great record. Really great to have it in my collection. One of the ones I've been looking for a while. Next one, again, another one I've been looking for quite a while. Released originally in 1990. This is a 2016 repress, and it is Traveling Wilburys, Volume 3. To me, the greatest supergroup ever. Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, Jeff Lynne, George Harrison. By this time, Roy Orbison had passed away, so he wasn't in the second iteration, but he was in the first. I have the first album. Been looking for this third one for a while, and this is so great. She's My Baby, You Belong to Me, The Devil's Been Busy, Where You Been, Where Were You Last Night, Wilbury Twist. It's just great, great stuff, and really glad to have this on vinyl in my collection. Came with the inner sleeve with the lyrics, some of the lyrics, and how to do the Wilbury Twist, and the hype sticker, which I cut out and put in there, save that. So yeah, Wilbury Twist, Traveling Wilburys, a great addition to the collection. Next one is one I've been looking for this record 4 years, maybe longer, 5 years. one of those records that you always hear about, and I just have never seen, and I'm so glad to have it. Originally released in 1973. This is a 1975 repress, but sounds freaking great, and it's Shotgun Willie, Willie Nelson. My favorite album by Willie Nelson. Just so great. Shotgun Willie, Whiskey River, Slow Down Old World, Stay All Night, Stay a Little Longer, Bubbles in My Beer, Devil in a Sleeping Bag. Just fantastic. Willie put out a lot of records, but this is one of the ones that it's really one of the ones that's hard to find, or at least I found it really hard to find on Atlantic. If you like Willie, definitely worth looking into. See if you can find it. Shotgun Willie. Next one is another grail, something I've been looking for quite a while. This one happens to be an original first U.S. pressing from 1968, and it is Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green. As I always say, the only Fleetwood Mac you need is with Peter Green. After he left, I was sort of enough with him. But yeah, an original U.S. pressing in stereo. Great Peter Green, amazing guitar player. Great blues rock. My heart beat like a hammer. Hellhound on My Trail, which is a Robert Johnson song. Shake Your Money Maker. No Place to Go. Cold Black Night. The World Keeps on Turning. Gotta Move. Just fantastic. And Peter Green really shines on this album. So I'm really happy to add this to the collection. Next one is interesting. Next one is this one is from 1975. I was watching a video actually by Mazzy about 6 months ago. And he shows this record as a record if you're looking for something that sounds really great on your system, something to really make your system shine. And he said, this is really one you got to get. And the very next day, I go to a yard sale, and there it was. Just one of those things. And it's Norman Blake, along with Jethro Burns, Sam Bush, Vassar Clemens, Dave Holland, Butch Robbins, and Tut Taylor. And it has no real name to it. It's just called, it's just Norman Blake. Amazing guitar playing, great banjo playing, fiddle playing. From 1975, Sweet Georgia Brown, The Old Brown Case, the A-Train, Take the A-Train, McKinley's Blues, Vassar and Day, just great stuff. I love the label, real basic, nothing on it, which I love. Let's see if we can get that up close. Pretty cool. And recorded June 22nd, 1974 in Nashville. And these musicians are on the top of their game. It is a fantastic record. Has the original inner sleeve. Talks about the album, no lyrics really, mostly instrumentals. And the cool thing about this one, there was a store in Portland, Maine called Recordland, and that's where it was from. For $5.19, regular $6.98. So that was great. I love that record. So happy to have it. A while ago, I was at Goodwill, and they had about a month or two ago, and they had a lot of what they call newgrass albums, which I love that stuff. And another one from that group was this one I picked up. Skaggs and Rice, Tony Rice, and Ricky Skaggs. Bury Me Beneath the Weeping Willow, There Are More Pretty Girls Than One, Memories of Mother and Dad, just so great. Tennessee Blues. What can I tell you about this record? 1980, Sugar Hill Records. The two of them just kill it on here. Is Sugar Hill. But talk about that virtuoso guitar, fiddle, mandolin playing. These guys got it. Ricky Skaggs and Tony Rice. Like I said, 1975. 1980. Next one is a newer album, but it's not. I didn't buy it new. It was used when I got it. and it's from 2017. And I sort of in the back of my head, something I wanted on vinyl, and lucky I'll be able to pick it up. And that's Neil Young, Harvest Moon. Obviously, I think it was released way before 2017, but on vinyl, maybe only 2017. I should have looked that up closer. But what a great, great album. 2 record set, 3 records. I mean, 3 sides. One side is a blank side. Let me see if there's any. Yeah, and that's the side that has the etching on it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see the etching a little bit there, which is the grass, and there's Neil. So 3 sides with the etching, and you know all this album from Hank to Hendrix, Harvest Moon, One of These Days, Such a Woman, Old King, Natural Beauty. Such a great, great album, and like I said, I'm so happy to have it on vinyl. Neil Young, Harvest Moon. Next one is from originally released in 2011. This is a 2018 pressing. This is an unofficial release, so it wasn't a. You know what they made? Unofficial release. It's Tom Waits. And this was a Tom Waits album. Around Midnight, the Minneapolis broadcast from 1975. Emotional Weather Report, Eggs and Sausage, Better Off Without a Wife. New Coat of Paint, Warm Beer and Cold Women. Old 55 ends up with. Just fantastic. I'm a big Tom Waits fan. And so glad to have this, even if it's an unofficial release. From Tom Waits from 75, which is right around the time I saw him. First saw him when he opened up for Bonnie Raitt, right around 75 in New York City. I had no idea who Tom Waits was. I just saw this guy on stage with a guitar and a bass player and a piano player and just growling. And I said, "What the heck? This guy is something else." And then I got not Hard Side Night, the live album he did, the double live album right after that. And then I got to see him at the Bottom Line in New York City. So, fantastic. Love me some Tom Waits. Next one, a local record store had this on their wall in the back of the store. And I had to have it. And it's Gene Clark. And this is his album, just Gene Clark. 1971. Original pressing from 1971. I'm sorry, it says 1975 here. Anyway, I thought it was 71. This says 75. Maybe it's a repress. Maybe I put it in wrong on Discogs. I'll have to check that a little further. Great album. On the A&M label, Brown A&M label. And he does White Light, Because of You, 1 in 100, Spanish Guitar, Tears of Rage. Oh, 1975 is the song. What a schmo. It was 1971, the song in 1975. And I just noticed, I was looking on who plays with him on this. Jesse Ed Davis plays electric guitar and bottleneck, and piano is Ben Sidran. So from 1971, early Ben Sidran stuff on here. Very cool. Love this album by Gene Clark. And the last one, number 10, again, a record I had on CD and I always want on vinyl. Originally released in 1998. And it is, this is a 2013 re-release. And it's Billy Bragg and Wilco, Mermaid Avenue, the songs of Woody Guthrie. So I guess what happened was that Woody's granddaughter found a bunch of notebooks of Woody's lyrics that had never been put to music. And she picked Billy Bragg as the man to put him to music. And he got together with Wilco and thought they needed a backup band. And together they put out this fantastic record of Woody Guthrie lyrics with their music called Mermaid Avenue, which is right near Coney Island, which is where Woody lived for quite a while. Great songs on here. Don't know if you know this. They put out a second one too. I'm still looking for the Mermaid Avenue #2 on vinyl, which hopefully this will be the year. Great song. California Stars is one of my favorite. At My Window Sad and Lonely, Ingrid Bergman, Christ for President. Another Man's Done Gone, The Unwelcome Guest, Walt Whitman's Niece. Fantastic album. So glad finally have this on vinyl to add to my collection. So those are 10 of my favorites. I'm sure if you check back in another couple of weeks, I would have 10 different albums for my favorites, but love those. Next up, I'm going to do a video of the 10 favorite new releases or new buys I got last year. Mostly are from 2022. A lot of them are represses from earlier times, like from the 60s and 70s, that were then repressed finally this year, and I bought the new copy. So it'll be new stuff, albums I bought new. That'll be my next video, hopefully coming up later today or tomorrow. Okay, hope everybody stays well out there. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up. And until next time, peace.